Jared Miller called himself a patriot, normally a word Americans use proudly, but in Miller's mind it became twisted and ugly. Miller and his wife Amanda gunned down 2 police officers and a Walmart shopper in Las Vegas because they wanted to start a revolution. On Miller's Facebook page, he wrote, quote, "We can hope for peace. We must, however, prepare for war. We face an enemy that is not only well-funded, but who believe they fight for freedom and justice. Those of us who know the truth and dare speak it know that the enemy we face are indeed our brothers, even though they share the same masters as we all do. They fail to recognize the chains that bind them," unquote. Authorities say Miller was attracted to small government demonstrations, like the armed confrontation at Cliven Bundy's Nevada ranch. Here's what he told an NBC affiliate back in April.
I feel sorry for any federal agents that want to come in here and try to push us around or anything like that. I really don't want violence toward them, but if they're going to come bring violence to us, well, if that's the language they want to speak, we'll learn it.
So let's talk about this. David Gletty is a former undercover operative for the FBI and author of Undercover Nazi. Welcome, sir.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
I'm good. I'm glad you're here. I'd like first to play a clip from a former skinhead on who he thinks is responsible for what happened on Sunday in Las Vegas. So let's listen together.
Bundy is responsible for this, as we all are responsible for this. We're all responsible for this huge, magnificent echo chamber that we exist in, with media and information being so ubiquitous nowadays. Whatever we put out into that is going to reflect in one way or another. Now, if Cliven Bundy or anyone else is constantly saying, like Mark pointed out, Obama's coming to take your guns, the government's coming to get you, that contributes to the environment that Jared and Amanda Miller came from.
So is he right?
I would agree with him somewhat. I would take it a step further and say, yes, it is all of our faults. It is our faults. These groups, the non-criminal aspects, need to police themselves, and that's the only way this is going to get stopped, because some of the people in those groups know that this was going to happen. They know they could have turned these people in, and they did not. So it goes to these groups themselves, and I challenge the non-criminal groups here to step up and help out. You're not a rat when you save lives. Step up and help stop these acts from happening, because this diminishes all of our rights.
Well, in fairness, other militia groups that were demonstrating at Cliven Bundy's ramp, they threw this guy off. They said he was nuts.
Well, I believe from what I've saw about the guy, he is crazy, or he was crazy. These are signs that were out there before. We can all second guess and go back and say this and that because the records are there. But like I said before, it's up to all of us. And the skinhead that was talking before, yes, when the media does report these things over and over, but that's your job, it does send out a trumpet for the call to arms. And there is a revolution going on in these people's minds. They feel like a new revolution war has started, and they are the revolutionary soldiers, and it's up to them to go out and make these things happen because they feel like their backs are against the wall, and the America that they grew up in is dead, and it's never coming back. And that is their beliefs.
So what in our culture is inflaming these people in your mind?
Well, in this hypersensitive mode of over-media stimulation and the social networking and everything that's out there that makes it so available for people's views to get out there, these people, like I said, they feel like their backs are against the wall, that they feel like racism is being ramped up by the government in control now. They call it the Zionist government. And they feel like I said, their backs are against the wall and there's nothing they can do. So they grab their rifles, they grab their handguns, they go out and look for targets. In this case, it was 2 unfortunate police officers having lunch and another civilian at a Walmart. And they just go out, and these were easy targets. Even though the officers were armed, it was an easy target since they were at lunch and at ease. And this is senseless. This could be stopped, but we're not doing the right steps to get it accomplished, to stop this.
So how, in a free country, when you can say anything you want, right? And you can, what steps should we take to stop this?
Well, first off, over the years, not just under Obama's watch, but under George Bush's watch also, we lost resources on the ground, professionals like myself. We had so many in the past, but those numbers have diminished. The resources on the ground, the boots on the ground, are not there like they used to be, so things slip through the cracks. Persons like myself, we're the first line of defense. when I gravitate towards the criminal aspects as an undercover operative and I get close to these people, many times we stopped criminal acts from happening. But now that's diminished, and I would say I challenge the Obama administration, I hate to say this word, but to create a czar for extremist groups to go out there. You need to talk with these groups. There's so many non-criminals. It's not against the law to be racist. It is against the law in the United States of America to go out and inflict harm upon innocent civilians and others.
So
I
you
would
think
state that we need to go out there. I've seen it. I was in the belly of the beast. I lived with these people. I know how they think. We need to go out there and talk to them because they're the ones that are going to turn in these people that are going out there committing criminal acts. That's the only way.
And just a final question. You think this is such a serious problem that there needs to be some kind of czar created by the government to deal with them?
From what I've saw and what I know, I hate to scare the public, but now is the time for truths and facts. The numbers are growing. These extremist groups are expanding right now. For whatever reason, you can say it's because of this, you can say it's because of that. Forget all that. Let's go with the facts. They're expanding, and this violence is expanding, and it's going to get worse. There's a trumpet that's been tooted, and the call to arms has been heard, and the triggering mechanism is there. We can see it, and it's going to start. More and more of these people are going to go out, like I said, pick up their guns, their handguns, their rifles, and go out and inflict harm when they get that phone call that tells them now is the time to act. I would say that, yes, we do need a czar for extremist groups because they need to go out there and be boots on the ground and talk to these group leaders. You know, I'm volunteering myself. You know, I'm the perfect guy because I know it's a dangerous situation. I've been there. But now's the time to go out and talk to these groups because their rights are being diminished. Our rights are being diminished every time these criminal acts happen.
David Gletty, thanks so much for your insight. I appreciate it.